Okay, so for today I'm going to be doing, let me grab my list. I'm going to be doing the working with skin wraps and skin wrap modifier. It's going to be a short little video. I've already done both of these just to make sure that I can show you quickly rather than lengthy what these objects are. So I'm using Kelly L. Murdoch's Autodesk 2018 Complete Reference Guide. When you purchase this book, you get a series of tutorials and other files to use. And so I'm going to be using two of their tutorial scenes that they've already created to quickly show how to use the skin modifier and how to use the skin morph modifier, so or skin wrap and skin morph. So the first one's the skin wrap modifier, and basically for that one we're going to be making this bottle walk forward with this bottle's animation. So currently they have this brown bottle that just walks forward and the blue one stays back. So when you select the blue bottle, you'll go to the skin wrap, and you get there quickly by pushing S, or whatever type of modifier you're using. You always push the first letter of it, and it'll take you to that section. Once you get to the skin wrap modifier, you're going to click Add, select the original box, click Add again to disable it, select the original box, and then hide that selection. And when you do that, the blue bottle will now follow that animation. And that's the skin wrap modifier. I like to go a little bit more than that, so rather than just leaving that where it was, I did a little bit extra, and I'm going to quickly do that and make a little mini animation where the bottle doesn't just wobble back and forth, but instead the top of the bottle's head is actually going to bob in the direction that the bottle itself is moving. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to be doing it by adding a bend modifier to my brown bottle here. And I'm going to move my animation down at the bottom. I can see that the keyframes they have set up are the 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. So I'm going to be placing mine at 30, 50, 70, and 90. And so I'll hit Auto key. And on this bend modifier, I'm going to make sure that I am set on the, I believe I set it to the x-axis. And it's going to be 16.5, I believe. Nope, not the X. It's going to be the Y. Okay, so on the first keyframe, when you first set it up, if you do not scroll back to the beginning of your animation or where you want your animation to start for this particular thing, it will set the key all the way back to 0. So what you have to do after the first one of setting it is you have to scroll backwards to 20 and make sure that you reset your angle to 0. That way it maintains the 0 from the beginning, and then it will curve into the bend that I would like. So then I'll go up to 50, and I'll set this to a negative 16.5, and then I'll move it up to 70, remove the negative, hit enter, go up to 90, add a negative, hit enter, and then I'll turn off my auto key. So basically you'll see the brown bottle move forward, and then it bends slightly in one direction, bends slightly the other direction, back and forth as it goes. So now when I select my main object, which basically the point of the skin wrap modifier is to take a highly complex object and animate it with a simple object. So instead of trying to animate this bottle that has a lot of polygon count on it, and actually I should turn that on, just so I can display what I'm trying to talk about here. Import configuration. I want Oh, I guess I could do that. Polygon count and totals. Okay, apply. So this model has 22,682 polygons. The model that we're going to be using, or that we're using to do it, only has 14 polygons. So we're using a 14 polygon count model to animate a 22,000 count object. So at this point, now I'm going to go ahead and push S, and I'm going to go down to my skin wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and add the original box back again, click Add to disable adding other objects that I don't want to be added, and then I'm going to click on the box, and I'm going to tell it to hide the selection. Now my model will move forward, and you'll see the top part of the thing is actually bending as it's walking to give it a little bit more realism on movement. So this has been the skin wrap modifier. I'm going to go ahead and file, save as. Rather than putting it in their chapter, I'm going to put it in my chapter. And this is what, day 9, I'm just going to call it. Oops, attest. Okay. And I am going to name this walking, if I can type, walking bottle tutorial complete. Save. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close that one down. And the next one is going to be using the skin morph modifier. And in this one, they provided an arm that's already skinned. And I'm going to just quickly apply a skin morph modifier to make the muscle of the arm bulge out as I move the forearm bone of the hand. So I already have that open in this scene. It already has the skin modifier applied to this object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push S, go down to the skin morph modifier, scroll up, click add bone, and in this I'm going to drop down the list, click the forearm bone and select. Then I'm going to go down and I'm going to make sure that the forearm bone is selected in the parameters. I'm going to go beneath that, click create morph, and I'm going to call this bulging bicep. Then I'm going to click edit. And when you click edit, I'm on points. Okay. When you click edit, and select the very front of this. And you're going to go to your scale, click the X in the left viewport, and you're going to drag out the muscle to where it will bulge. And then uncheck edit, and that ends that. So then you're going to scroll back up to the top. You can see that it's all in there. It now says bulging bicep and forearm body. So you go ahead and deselect that. In your list, you're going to go to rotate on here, set it to local, and then I'm going to select my forearm bone, click OK, and in the left viewport here, you can see the arm is bulging, and if I rotate it down, it straightens and flattens out. So now every time the arm would go up, the skin would morph out and make it look like he or she is actually raising the arm, and the muscle is responding to the arm being raised. And so that is the skin morph modifier. So that concludes both the skin wrap modifier and the skin morph modifier. And thanks.